Yes, I'm microwaving my coffee. Welcome back to my channel. Come close and sit down because I'm going to tell you 10 things that a lot of people don't tell you if you're desiring to write a children's book. So let's get into it. Number one, first thing, it is so exciting to plan and to daydream, but the outline is the easy part, okay? That's the fun part. When you sit down and you write down every single page, you have the pictures in mind, you have your story planned.
Yeah, you're like, this is the cutest, most wonderful, awesome thing in the world.
At this point, it's starting to be birthed. You're pregnant, right? Like you just found out you're pregnant. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have the baby, and you're daydreaming. But you don't know what pregnancy and birth, everything that goes into that, okay? And I feel like that's really what the outline and the rough draft in the beginning, the story, just the idea of it is only conception, okay? Do not be deceived by the fun, happy feelings that come along with it. Okay, this is the fun and easy part. So a lot of people think that they've written children's books. They're like, oh yeah, I've heard that a lot actually after I started doing this. They're like, I've written children's books too. I've written poems and stuff, but I just gotta put them out there and get them together. And it's like, at that point, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's just a daydream until it's in your hand. I mean, you have written a book, but really, that's just the fun part. So that's my first point. My second point is, if you're doing the artwork and the illustrations yourself, okay, you need dedication and patience because
it is a process.
I think that is the biggest part for me making the children's book, was doing all of the illustrations, having the self-discipline to sit down and bring my outline and all of my sketches to life. I had a schedule set up for myself, that way I would have at least 2 done every week. And it's a lot of artwork, and artwork takes time, it takes focus, it takes energy. And I think that's something, you know, you're like, oh, it's just a little children's book. But really, it's 24 pieces of artwork that you have to sit down and take the time to do. Even if you're able to knock it out in 30 minutes, that's 12 hours of doing artwork that you have to dedicate yourself to and set aside time for. And it doesn't happen in a month unless if you're literally a beast. It just takes so much dedication. This is my first book with all my illustrations that go to it, all the originals. My next point kind of goes along with the last one, but patience is key. It is a process, and as soon as you think you're like, oh my gosh, as soon as I get all of this stuff done in this step, that's my last thing, I'm done. There is always one more thing to do, one more thing to add or to go back and change and fix. And you just gotta have patience for it. Trust the process again. Know that it's worth it too. The fourth thing that people won't tell you is that you need to be open to changes. Even with some of the artwork that I did, I didn't make it the way that I thought it was gonna be. I started the piece and then it kind of ended up looking totally different than what I had in my mind. Being open to change is really important because you kind of have to go with the flow. Just go in with the flow, and when an obstacle comes up, be ready to just jump over the hurdle. And if it's overwhelming or it feels like too much, just take a day and research, educate yourself, jump over the hurdle. And if you gotta climb over the hurdle, climb over the hurdle. There were times I had to ask my husband to help me. One time in particular, I could not upload the file onto Amazon, and it was so frustrating and disappointing, and I'm just like, was really, I just felt like I had no more patience. I was like, I can't do this. So I just asked him to help me, and sure enough, he was able to figure it out, and it was kind of a God thing. So invite the Holy Spirit into it too, because that'll help you avoid a lot of your problems. Number 5. If your artwork is not digital, you will need to scan or have high quality photographs of your artwork. When I did my first book, I took all my pictures on my iPhone, which wasn't horrible, and I ran them through a website too, so that the images would have a clearer picture, but overall the pixel count was not increased. It was all generated. So this go around, I had a real photographer come to my house and photograph my artwork, and again, it's those baby steps that take us to the place where we want to go, and just starting where we can. If you have questions about scanning artwork and what that's like and what to use, I am not your girl, okay? I'm out here with my iPhone, and like I said, my photographer guy, so don't ask me about that. You will need to have copyrights to your artwork and your story, and I was able to purchase mine through a website, which, I'll be honest with you, I didn't take the time to sit down and remember or figure out what that website is. I'll put it right here. Thank you, future Natalie, that's editing. I was able to go on there and purchase it. I got an email receiving my copyrights that I was able to copy and paste and put into the front of my book so that people would know that I have the rights to it, obviously. Once I got my copyrights, I self-published my book for free using Amazon KDP. I watched bukus of YouTube videos on how to do this. It's really funny because I'm actually not going to use that for my second children's book, but I'm very thankful for it because it was simple enough for me to have the courage to use it and do it, and it was free as a self-publisher, so I thought that was awesome. This go round, I'm gonna go through Lulu prints because I'll be able to ship directly from Lulu prints and I will get majority of the profit, whereas Amazon, I only get $1 or $2 per purchase. All you have to pay for is printing cost and the shipping. I used Amazon KDP. You can self-publish for free. It is a process. As far as getting into stores and libraries, there is a separate website that you have to apply and go through to be officialized, and that does take a chunk of change, which is why I'm not very educated on it yet because I'm growing there. Okay? So again, I'm only sharing what I know. I should have said this at the beginning of the video. It's kind of a given. I'm only sharing what I already know. I'm not a professional children's illustrator, publisher, or anything like that at all. I'm only sharing from my experience and what I know, and a lot of that in and of itself was self-taught, researching and watching a lot of videos. So I'm just sharing from my experience, and I hope that it encourages you that, you know, small beginnings are still a beginning and it's a big deal. Anyways, like I was saying, libraries and stores are definitely a goal of mine, but it's a little bit further down the road, so I'm only focusing and trying to do the best that I can with what's in front of me right now. Number 9, the options are so vast, and with that, I feel like there's a lot of pros and cons with that because obviously options are good, but then the con is which one is best for you and the book that you're wanting to make. I'm not gonna lie, I talked to ChatGPT a lot, again, watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I prayed about it. Just trying to feel that leading of the Holy Spirit. 20 people can tell you why Amazon KDP is awesome. 20 people can tell you why they hate it, and it can be hard to decide. But if something is already like kind of, you feel it in your gut, you're like, I think this is where it's at, I'm gonna go for it, just go for it, because there's so many options. And I know that there are thousands of artists that do illustrations, there's thousands of publishers. I don't even know what it's like to go through a publisher or anything like that. Options are limitless. The websites, resources, stores, ways to print, ways to sell, So just be aware of that, the vastness of options, and that there's not really a right one or a wrong one. Okay, the last thing that was a little bit surprising to me, which I think just shows how much I wanted people to be excited with me, is again, it's your baby that you took the time to make, and now it's in your hands and you're in love with it. And there are going to be people that will flip through that book in 3 seconds. They won't even look at every single page, and they're like, wow, yeah, that's really cool, I like that. And you're like, they only gave it 4 seconds of their attention. And it's really interesting and kind of funny to see people do that, and you're like, you know, you've put hours upon days of your time and energy into this thing, and not everyone is gonna see it or cherish it the same way that you do, and that's okay. That's all right. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to glean from it a little bit. I'm not a professional out here or anything like that at all, but I hope that this encouraged you, just knowing that you are able. It seems really daunting and overwhelming, but just taking it one step at a time, and you'll be at the end before you know it. So I gotta wrap this video up. And I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It would mean so much to me. And next week, I'm going to be doing a testimonial video for my Children of God series. And I'm not going to say who it is. So you're going to have to come back next Friday to find out who it is. Bye!